I need you to really focus on the next part of this, because if you're not paying attention, you might not understand what I say. Because this might be the most important part of the message. The enemy of your soul, the enemy of humankind, would like you to believe that people are not thirsty at all. That's what he would like you to believe. And when you listen to the voices in our broken society, loud voices, you kind of wonder if maybe he's not right. I'm going to take a couple minutes to show you that he is a liar. He is lying. Lying voices say people are not thirsty. But the truth is, people are thirsty. Recently, The Atlantic published an interesting essay by Jonathan Haidt. Listen to the title of it. Why the past 10 years of American life have been uniquely stupid. Yeah. In it, Haidt noted that people speaking the loudest on social media tend to be the extremists. And the numbers are staggering. A very high percentage of the opinions expressed are coming from people who are very extreme, in a very slim minority, people who without social media, we would never hear them, because anyone who did hear them would just dismiss them out of hand. But social media has given them a voice. And when they talk together, and when they retweet, and when they share, and when they like, well, then that minority position gets some steam, and it gets some power. And at some point, people who read the lies begin to think that must be what everybody does believe. I've heard that so often, and look how many people have liked that. And look how many people have retweeted that. And these uniquely stupid years come from uniquely stupid viewpoints that are wrongly felt as though they are mainstream thinking. Are you following that? Think about it. You've heard it on your favorite news outlet. The announcer says, "This headline," and then he says, "Twitter reacts." Like Twitter's an authority on anything. And those who are reacting in Twitter are a very small minority. Most of us on Twitter, we're just sitting there quietly. And we don't agree. Haidt says those voices, those opinions are not representative of the real world by a long shot. Okay, now listen. I think this has influenced good people, Christian people, like you and me. I think it has caused people like you and me to believe the lie that our faith is not as relevant as we once thought it was. I think it has caused us to believe the lie that Christian opinions are not wanted. Pastor Tim Keller calls for prayer regarding Twitter responds. And when Twitter responds, it says something like this: Pastor Keller should shut up along with all the rest of the Christians. And we hear that, and we're like, maybe everyone wants us. Maybe they don't want. Maybe they're not interested. Maybe Jesus isn't as relevant as I once thought he was. Do you see the insidiousness? I can't say that word. The insidiousness, I did it, of the enemy. And you see how he twists your thinking. I'm convinced this has caused some of us to be reluctant to give away the living water that we have. Some of us maybe hesitate to invite people to worship. After all, this vocal minority has told us that no one wants God anymore. That's not true. People are thirsty. Some of us question the validity of sending people overseas to tell others the story of Jesus. The vocal minority says, that's colonialism. That's not true. People are thirsty. Some of us question having a commitment to our own continued discipleship, and tragically to the discipleship of our children, because the vocal minority has told us that's not really relevant. That's not true. People are thirsty. Don't believe those 10 to 15% of users who are squawking like birds on Twitter. See what I did there? They lie. Believe Jesus who says, I tell you, open your eyes and look to the fields. They are ripe for harvest. People are thirsty. They are. And if you're going to make a difference, then giving living water to the thirsty needs to be your priority. Giving Jesus to the thirsty must be our priority. When I look at Jesus' words to his followers, I see that this really requires tending to something other than our own agenda. It requires adopting Christ's agenda. Let me be real clear what I'm talking about. You make the application. I'm talking about sacrifice, not just financial. It's easy to write a check. I'm talking about sacrifice, personal sacrifice. I'm talking about time for your own discipleship. I just don't have time to do that. Make time to do that. And for the discipleship of others. I'm talking about, and this will make me popular, sacrificing fun. What do you mean sacrificing fun, Pastor Steve? You just went from preaching to meddling. Yes, I did. You make the application. Sacrificing fun so that you can serve others for the sake of the kingdom, cooperating with them, helping them grow in a faith as they help you grow in a faith. I'm talking about sacrificing whatever it is that keeps you from getting water as the thirsty and giving water to the thirsty. The disciples had their own agenda, lunch. But Jesus, he can't even think about eating. I have food to eat that you know nothing about. Do you want to change this world? Do you want to give your children a better world? Do you want to grow in your faith personally with like-minded people? You want to give water to the thirsty? Then evaluate your own priorities. Adopt Christ's agenda.